Guys, it's finally time.
It's time.
This is the moment I've been waiting for. This is my favorite time of the year, probably. I mean, I like March Madness. It was just the Masters, my favorite, sporting event in the world. So that's awesome. I think
That's your favorite?
yeah,
Okay.
I'm like a big Masters guy. I was watching all of Sunday,
Okay.
for 5 hours straight watching golf.
Hey, dude, that's cool, man.
I'm locked in. But Rory won, and I'm a big Rory hater. So that I may cry a little bit on the show tonight.
A Rory hater.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we're redeeming the times because it's NBA playoff time. That's what I'm talking about. Best time of the year. And I feel like this year's playoffs are going to be special.
Yeah.
There's probably maybe only 4 or 5 teams who can really win, but it feels a lot more wide open than usual.
Yeah. I feel like we're, Bill Simmons talks about this a lot, how this is the most talented the league has ever been. And I agree wholeheartedly. This Nuggets team right now, back in 2014, I think would be like a top 3 team.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
this
This Nuggets team back in 2014 would maybe be the second team. Low key, they could compete with that Spurs. They could compete with
Spurs
those
and the Heat.
They could compete.
It would be a great series. The Nuggets might be the best team out of those two, honestly.
Which is crazy.
But, there was prime LeBron, so maybe not.
But yeah, it just shows the depth of the league.
Yeah.
I feel like in years past, you had, okay, these are the 2 teams. No one else is going to compete. All the series are going to kind of be boring. I feel like all these first-round series are going to be so fun to watch and so fun to talk about. A lot of them are toss-ups.
Yeah, especially the 4-5 and the 3-6s. I like them a lot. But I want to, before we jump into it, I did have a thought about the Masters, and I want to, I just want to see what you think about it.
Okay.
So I feel like the Masters is special. Not only is it like a major event for golf, it's one of the majors,
Quite literally.
literally. But it's like a special venue.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think that's part of what makes it so unique. But I feel like we're lacking that in most sports. And I was trying to think about what are some unique venues or places for specifically for championships.
Yeah.
Okay. And I could only really think of 2 that are even really all that close.
Okay, give me the 2, and I'm going to think of some.
So I was going to say college football as a whole,
Okay.
specifically the Rose Bowl.
Okay.
Because it's kind of like I know there's other games played there, but we play our playoff games there and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the Rose Bowl is iconic.
Yeah, and then Omaha
Okay.
for college baseball.
Okay, yeah. But none of those compare to the Masters. Masters
No.
is just the Masters is just a golf tournament when you look at it. It's
Yeah.
not all the best players are there. It's invitation based. It's
Yeah.
you had to earn it. So yes, it's the best players. But it's no different than any golf tournament. But the venue is so special. The course is so special. The history is so special. And I think you're right. It's hard to find that in any sports.
Yeah, yes. There's so much you can talk about with golf. I think it's also the hardest sport
Yeah.
to win at. But specifically about the venues, I was thinking I don't remember where any of the Super Bowls are played at.
Yeah, no one cares about that.
The stadiums, it's just the stadiums you see all year. What if you did a Super Bowl because nobody's getting home field advantage. What if you built a stadium specifically for the Super Bowl? That's a venue of venues.
Yeah.
And I was trying to think of cities because I think you have to do it outside of the traditional NFL cities. So I don't think you can do Dallas or New York or LA. So I could only really think of 2 or 3.
What's the ones?
So my number 1 was San Antonio.
Okay. It's in Texas, so that's a good location.
It's a really big city.
Yeah, so it's good for tourism, good for people to come in.
Unique vibe, kind of.
Maybe a little too spread out potentially.
Yeah, maybe.
To supply a big event like
Well,
that.
you could do San Antonio or Austin.
Okay, I think Austin would be a little better because it's just more compact, which I feel like is better for just foot traveling to the game and stuff.
Okay,
Because I
okay.
feel like there wouldn't be enough locations hotels and stuff close for a Super Bowl. For
Either
San
way,
Antonio.
you're going to have to put it on the outside of the city.
Yeah.
No matter what
okay,
city you
I
choose.
guess so, but I feel like San Antonio is just too spread out.
You
At
might
least
be
Austin, you
right.
can put it right next to the city. I feel like
That's true.
San Antonio is just everywhere.
Okay. I don't hate it. The other one I was thinking was San Diego.
Okay.
because
Yeah.
the Chargers were there forever. and
Once
now
again,
they're gone.
California, good place to do. Yeah.
Yep. I was thinking St. Louis.
Okay. I mean, central location.
Yeah.
I don't know. St. Louis is a whack city, honestly.
Yeah.
Pretty dangerous city. So I don't know if people want to be going there. I don't know if that's going to be like Augusta, Georgia, and then St. Louis, Missouri. Like, I don't think they had the same appeal.
Those are really the only three I had.
Yeah.
Maybe or in Orlando.
Okay. Yeah. Florida, another big
So
city.
that's
And then
it.
you can go to Disney, stuff like that.
Or you could pick a smaller city, or that just becomes their thing. Like a Birmingham,
I
Alabama.
mean, yeah, that's what it is with Augusta. Like,
Yeah.
Augusta's not a super big city.
Yeah.
That's just their thing.
Yeah.
But I think you're never going to meet what the Masters does because golf is uniquely about the venue. Like,
Yeah.
football's not about the venue. Basketball's not about the venue. Like, it's about the game, most importantly. It's about the players. Like, the court in the field is the same in every single location. For
Yeah.
golf, it's different in every
That's
location.
true. That's
so I
very
don't think you
true.
can quite meet that. But
So would you do that with baseball? Because in baseball, you can kind of change like the depths of the outfield.
you
and stuff.
could, but once again, it's not quite as important. Like golf, it's venue is everything in golf.
Okay.
Like one course, one player is great at, the next course they're not, just because how different they're like it appeals to their game. So I don't think you could ever quite meet it, but I think it's a good thought exercise.
I was just trying to think of like, and then I thought about the NBA. I was like, where would you do it in the NBA?
Like Madison Square Garden is the most iconic stadium. In
it
the NBA.
is. It's the only iconic one.
Yeah,
Or, well, I guess the LA stadium is pretty iconic too.
yeah,
But I mean, I don't know where you would do it for basketball.
yeah. Don't do it in
You-
the football stadium because that's
No,
that's awful
no.
when they do that in the Final Four.
It would have been Las Vegas, but there's going to be a team there,
Yeah.
and then Seattle as well. So I couldn't come up with a good city.
I think it doesn't work out quite well for the other sports.
yeah, it may not. It
I
may
mean,
not.
then again, college football has done it to some degree with the Rose Bowl, right?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you could do that with football,
Yeah.
with basketball, and I mean, soccer. They have iconic stadiums more than us, but their stadiums are
Yeah.
just like way cooler. So maybe just design a crazy cool stadium for football,
See, that's what I was thinking.
and I think it could work. Basketball, I just don't think there's anything
So the
you
only
could do
one,
for it.
the only like I only thought about this like really, really, really in depth for NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And my idea is you pick a city that is in the continental United States that you could see yourself expanding to potentially.
Yeah,
That you just build an insanely nice stadium and facilities,
Mm-hmm.
and then you play one game a week there.
okay.
Okay, so it's and
Like
then
the,
Super
like
Bowl.
the game of the week kind of thing.
The game of the week.
What
but
you
right
think
now-
would be the game of the week?
Yeah, yeah.
You'd plan it ahead.
right now? Everybody plays 17 games.
Yeah.
Okay, so instead of playing 9 away and 8 home, or the other
Yeah,
way
just
around,
8 and 8.
8 and 8, and then every team plays a game in the stadium.
Could actually be a good idea. Not gonna lie,
Yeah.
it could bring up the iconicness. That's always like maybe the Sunday night football game or Monday night football, Thursday, whatever you want to choose. But like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that's the primetime game. If the stadium's pretty cool, I don't know. It could be a cool thing,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think it'll ever reach the Masters level. But I think it could help with some like just iconicness
Is
and
it
like
just an
tradition.
interesting thought?
It's just an interesting thought. I don't think it's ever gonna happen.
Probably not.
Or I don't think the owners want it to happen because they want money in their city. They
That's
want
probably
money
true.
from them.
That's probably
So they would
true.
have to figure out a way to make the owners want to do it.
I think you would only do it if you planned on expanding to that city.
Yeah. I think that's the only way. But it's a good thought. I've never thought about that. That's a good thought exercise.
Okay. So, NBA, you start us off. Where do we want to go?
Yeah, so we're gonna preview all the first round games.
In the
It's-
play-in.
Yeah, right now it's Monday. Is this April? April 14th.
Yep.
And so right now we only know the 4-5 and 3-6 matches in the East and West. The play-in happens Tuesday night, so tomorrow night, Wednesday night, Friday night. So we'll give you guys another pod Friday night / Saturday morning about the other matchups. So we're just gonna focus on 4 matchups, do a deep dive preview. And let's start off with, I think, the series that I'm most excited about. I think it's gonna be the best series. This is probably a big series for basketball nerds, I feel like.
Okay.
I feel like it's gonna be a big chess match. One really great coach on one side,
Ty Lue?
and Ty Lue, and then one coach that just got fired. So you have an assistant coach coaching for you. So yeah, we got the number 4 Denver Nuggets versus the LA Clippers in the West. What's your initial thoughts on this series?
Okay, so I feel like the past 4 or 5 years, we've constantly been let down by Kawhi,
This is true.
but he started the season late, and he's been playing really well.
He's been playing really,
He's
really well.
moving well. He's athletic, playing good defense.
Yeah.
The scoring's decent. I feel good about it. He hasn't been trying to play all year, so he's more fresh.
Yeah.
Like he's okay. So I have it pulled up here. 37. He's played 37 games. He's averaged like 30 minutes a game. I mean, this could be like a real thing.
Yeah, I have a couple stats about Kawhi, how good he's been since being back. With James Harden and Kawhi in the lineup, the Clippers are 26-11.
Woo.
So that's really good. That's like, I mean, it's not Thunder level good, but that's Rockets / like 2 seed in the West level good.
Yeah.
And then Kawhi in March and April, he's been even better. He's averaging 25.4 points per game, 7 rebounds, 2 steals, and on 50-40 shooting. So he's been like on one. Like he's been going crazy. He's been good defense. And like when Kawhi's on, it's hard to stop his shot. Like his shot is like impossible to stop because he just like pulls up to a midi and just like shoots over you.
Yeah.
And he's big.
He's
strong.
had that in his bag for a long time.
Yeah. If he's making shots, you can't stop him. Like if he's on. It's like Kevin Durant kind of thing.
Sure.
But he's honestly clutcher and more reliable than Kevin Durant, it feels like, in the playoffs. So if he's healthy, this Clippers team is not only scary for this round, but scary for the entire playoffs.
And Harden's been playing like pretty well. Norman Powell's been a good scorer for them.
Yeah.
But Zoo at center,
Zoo's been good.
been a beast. He's a great rebounder. He's been scoring well. He's averaging 12 rebounds a game. Only a block, but like defense has been good.
He's a pretty good drop defender.
Yep.
And that's really what he's good at. Like he's not super athletic or he's not going to like go crazy athletic blocks, but he's a good drop defender and he like limits, I guess, maybe he's a floor raiser on defense. Maybe he's not like a ceiling raiser, but he's a floor raiser. Like he's always going to be solid and it's going to be hard to score on him in the paint, but not like impossible, like more like he's not going to be in Jaren Jackson, Bam Adebayo, where he's like athletically blocking your shots.
Sure.
But he raises the floor where it's hard to score on him.
Yeah, and I think he's becoming a good offensive player. I mean, yeah, this Clippers team is good. The Ben Simmons pickup I really liked originally, but honestly, he hasn't been great.
I mean, yeah, it's been okay. Like he does okay things in his minutes.
He does Ben Simmons stuff. Batum has played a lot for them. I mean, you got Chris Dunn who's played a lot. Coffee who's played a lot. Derek Jones is going to have to probably be a good shooter, even though he's a little bit streaky. I mean, yeah, I feel like you kind of know what you're getting with the Clippers.
Yeah.
The question is are they going to stay healthy? Because if they stay healthy, they're going to this is going to be an aggressive series, like a really good one. If they're not, you lose Kawhi, it's going to be hard.
Yeah, you lose Kawhi, it's over. I had 3 keys to this series, and one of them was Kawhi Leonard's health. If he's healthy, like right now, they're my favorite in the series. I'll tell you what I end up picking because it may change based on Kawhi's health, but we're picking today. But
yeah, we're picking.
But like, I think if he stays healthy, whether or not he will, I think they're gonna win the series. Like that's how good they've been with him in the lineup, and that's how good he's been. Like he's been a top 10 NBA player, top 15 NBA player this season, especially over the past 2 months.
Yeah.
And so I think it really all depends on Kawhi's health.
So do we want to say what we're going right now, or do we want to do a little bit of Nuggets stuff?
I have something on, my mic is flying around, but I have something about James Harden real quick, and then let's talk about the Nuggets, and then let's pick.
Shoot.
I want to give James Harden his flowers. You know I'm a James Harden guy, so you know I had to do this.
Yeah. I can't stand watching the guy play.
Yeah, that's okay. I love watching him play, but for most people, it's hard to watch. But this has been one of his best years of his career. Here's why I think. Obviously, his best years are back in the Rockets days when he's scoring 36 points per game.
Sure.
But he's had to adjust his game with his lack of, he's lost his athleticism. Like back in the Rockets games, he could go dunk over someone. He had that first step that was impossible. He doesn't have that first step anymore.
No.
So really his step back is not as explosive because of that first step, nor his driving. So he added the midi, but he's also made everyone on this team better. like what we expected with Kawhi injured and Paul George gone. You expected them to be struggling to make the play-in.
Yeah, I honestly thought that they'd be a deep lottery team.
Yeah, we thought a deep lottery team because like they didn't have Kawhi, they didn't have Paul George. They've been even better than that team last year.
Yeah.
Like that's how good they've been, and they missed Kawhi for 50 games, and James Harden has made everyone better. Like Norman Powell, career year, and a lot of that's because of James Harden setting him up.
Sure.
Zubac, career year, 16 points, 12 rebounds. That pick and roll with Zubac and Harden is like crazy good. Amir Coffey, like who the heck is that? Now this year he's a solid shooter off the bench.
Yeah,
Chris
he's
Dunn,
usable.
now he's one of the best defenders in the league, and he's someone on offense.
He's always been a great defender.
Yeah, but now he can. One thing is his offense kept him off the floor.
Yeah.
But now James Harden has allowed him to stay on the floor. Derrick Jones Jr., he was good with the Mavs, obviously, but his stats has been even better. So all these key players playing around James Harden have been even better. So I just want to give James Harden his flowers. Like without him, this team would be a lottery team because they didn't have Kawhi for 50 games. They should have been a lottery team. But James Harden's been doing crazy stuff.
I mean, yeah.
What do you think about the Nuggets?
Okay. So the Nuggets fired their head coach like what, a week ago?
Yeah,
now?
a week ago, which was shocking. I was like, what the heck?
Yeah, I was like, what? But I guess apparently there's been a lot of turmoil there. I must have missed it.
Bro,
but-
everyone's getting fired. Do you see the Suns coach got fired?
Yeah.
And
Coach
Wizards?
Bud,
Was it Wizards? No.
The Pelicans is who I
Oh,
saw.
Pelicans. Yeah, it was one of the bottom feeding teams. I couldn't remember. They're all the
Well,
same to me at this point.
Yeah, the Wizards would have made sense. So I feel like they only have 4 players.
You're kind of right.
Like they have more guys who can play. Like Christian can play. Russell,
Good defender, hustle player.
Russell actually can't play.
Yeah,
but
Russell better not be playing any minutes this series. That's one of the reasons he got fired because he was giving Russell Westbrook favoritism.
yeah.
Which is wild.
Watson can kind of play. Strother can play. Pickett can play kind of.
But in the
Zeke
playoffs,
Naji, but I feel like all of those are like 8th or 9th guys, and they need like a 5th, a 6th,
Yeah.
a 7th, and 8th.
those guys are like in playoff rotations, play for like 10, 15 minutes, but they're forced to play either A for 20, 25 minutes, or you play the starting lineup for 40 minutes a game.
Yeah,
So that's kind of tough.
it is. I mean, obviously Jokic is.
He's that dude.
I think he's the best offensive player in the league.
Oh, easy.
Maybe not the best scorer, but I think just overall offensively gets boards, assists. He's averaging 29.6 points a game. He's actually leading his team in steals, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, he's not a great defender, but he's good with deflections.
Yeah,
like
he's active.
He gets his hands active, gets his hands in there, you know.
Yeah.
Swats at some balls and stuff, you know.
This is gonna have I think you have to have. I mean, Jokic has to be Jokic, but Murray has to be really, really good. Mm-hmm. But I think I think the Clippers have guys who can defend.
Yeah, especially
Murray.
Chris Dunn.
Yeah, Dunn can guard, defend. I think they can cover up Aaron Gordon and MPJ.
Yeah, Kawhi got that wing defense
Yeah.
for those two.
And so
And Norman Powell's not a bad defender. Amir Coffey's not bad. Derrick Jones Jr. Great.
Even Derrick Jones Jr.
He's great.
Yeah, and so I don't know if Denver has what it takes. Like, this is either going to be the most energized Nuggets team we've seen,
Yeah.
or they're gonna fall flat with a new coach.
There's a chance they've checked out. Like
They just beat, what was it, the Rockets?
yeah, they smacked the Rockets.
like pretty bad. I'm gonna look up the score for that.
It was like they were smacking them so bad that the Rockets just pulled their starters in the second half because they wanted to send the Nuggets to the play-in. I don't know why, just out of spite or something. And then after the first 2 quarters, the Rockets said, "Oh, never mind. This team is destroying us."
Yeah.
So they've been inspired since Malone was injured, but
Injured,
sorry, not injured,
Fired.
fired. But that's
sent
only
to the Shadow Realm.
but that's only 3 games.
Yeah.
So what will they really when they have a new head coach? How will they really do in the playoffs when the playoffs is all about chess matches between the coaches?
Yeah.
It's all about adjustments. It's all about figuring out the matchups to exploit. And you have a coach that's never done it before.
Yeah.
That's a little scary.
Yeah, and so I think ultimately the Clippers will win this. So I agree with you. You said it first. I think the Clippers will win. They shoot the three well. They defend. I mean, they'll defend well in this.
Yeah.
Like Denver does not shoot the three,
Mm-hmm.
and so I think you can kind of clog the paint and make them suffer.
Yeah.
Make Jamal Murray beat Chris Dunn a lot. I think Clips in 6.
Okay. Yeah. My keys for the Nuggets side is just Jamal Murray. Like
Yeah.
Jokic is gonna do great every game. That even if you had the best defender in the world, and Zubac's a good defender, it doesn't matter. Jokic is still gonna give you a 30-point triple-double every game.
So Jokic will get 35, 12, and 12.
Every game.
Every
In some
game.
games he may get 50, 12, and 12. Like that's just who he is.
Yeah, and I mean, it's all the other dudes. Murray has to be elite. And
Yeah.
I don't know that he has that.
That's how it always was, like for the Nuggets. In their championship run, like regular season that year, Jamal Murray averaged 20 points per game. In playoffs, he averaged 26. That's why they won the championship. Last year, regular season 21, playoffs 20.
Yeah.
That's why they did it, because he didn't elevate in the playoffs. Championship year he did. Last year he did it. And I don't know if I trust Jamal Murray to elevate again. Like it feels like the past 2 years have been just like a stinker for him. Like
Yeah,
he
he had
just
a slow
feels
year.
like barely a top 50 player at times, which is crazy, but that's how he's been playing.
Yeah.
And if Jamal's not playing good, like Clippers, like you're saying, can win with Jokic dropping 40, 15, and 15.
Yeah.
I mean, they lost when he did a 60-point triple-double. Like, if there's not another guy besides Jokic, especially against this good Clippers defense,
That is crazy that they lost with a 60-point.
like, I don't know if they can do it. And, like, also, Murray's going to be matched up against Chris Dunn. Chris Dunn is first in the NBA in defensive box plus minus, which is, like, one of the best defensive, like, advanced stats.
Sure.
So basically that's saying he's the best defender in the league. He's fourth in steals. The Clippers are third in defensive rating. I just can't see Jamal Murray elevating to a level that he needs to for the Nuggets to win. I mean, he's only averaged 20 points per game and has had 3.3 turnovers per game against the Clippers this season. So he's struggled against the Clippers already.
Yeah.
I mean, Jokic is that guy. And so Jokic has the ability to
I think
carry
he's
a
the
team.
MVP. I
Yeah.
think he should be.
Oh, yeah. I think 100%. You've never seen anyone do something like this. He's that guy. And so, in theory, he could carry the Nuggets to victory. Like, I could still see that happen.
Mm-hmm.
But the Clippers are such a better team overall.
I think so.
And so, I'm going to say Clippers in 7
Okay. I said Clippers in 6.
because Jokic will, he'll win some games on his own.
Do you remember what the ceiling floor we put on the Clippers was?
Oh, that's a really good question.
Because did we like say, oh, first round?
We're going to be exposed. I think we said like first, second at most, because that was like when we did that,
I'm fine with that actually.
that was
right now.
before Kawhi was back, I
Okay.
think.
Okay.
And also,
But like back fully.
my new ceiling for this team is that I think they could make it to the NBA championship.
Oh, okay. I'm not that far.
I'm that high on them.
Okay. I don't think that.
Like, I don't think they'd win. I don't think they can win the whole thing, because I think if they go against the Celtics or the Cavs, well, they could maybe beat the Cavs, but if they go against the Celtics, they're cooked. But like, let's say they play the Thunder next round.
I think that's like the worst matchup for them.
It's not a great matchup for them, but Kawhi has been like so good, and if Kawhi at his peak is so hard to stop in the playoffs. James Harden has been the best and one of the most efficient he's been in a while, and you got a lot of shooters and defenders around them, and that's just like a unrealistic ceiling. But I could see it in the world happening. Would I choose it? No. If Thunder and Clippers played today, I'd be Thunder in 5 or 6.
Okay. I was about to say Thunder in 5. Yeah.
But I think in a world I could see it happening.
Okay,
Like before Kawhi came back, there was no world I saw it happening. Now there's like a little world,
Like a
like
5% chance.
like a tiny little world I'm looking at, and I think it could happen in that world.
Okay. I would put their cap at the second round.
That's okay. That's realistic. Once
but
again,
unless Shea gets injured.
I get emotional around James Harden.
Okay. Hey, no, I don't. hate it.
Maybe that's the problem here.
I used to own a Kawhi Leonard jersey.
Oh no.
I
Oh,
was
do
a
you
big-
hate Kawhi Leonard?
Yeah, kind of a little bit.
Okay, you still do. I didn't know if you still had like
Yeah, I
problems
harbor
with
some
that.
feelings.
I mean, checks out.
I mean, he abandoned our team for like a year and a half.
It was kind of funny. I'm sorry, I'm not a Spurs guy,
No,
so
it,
it just
it
made.
destroyed me, man.
But he got his.
It destroyed me.
But that championship run in Toronto was all worth it, right?
No,
Right?
that made it worse. That made it worse.
It was worth it for me. I was like, dang,
No.
that was one of my favorite championship runs to watch. Was the Raptors.
Oh, I was so conflicted because I hated the Warriors, but I didn't want Kawhi to win.
Dang, that must have been an awful championship for you to watch.
I was like, oh, I hate KD, but right now I hate Kawhi even more. And so, yeah, that was difficult. Yeah, Clips in 6. You said Clips in 7.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts?
Yeah, like I said,
Are we putting money on this? Because I saw this morning.
we're putting money on this. I'm ready to put money on this.
This morning the Nuggets were favored, I think, just because of home field,
Home court, home field.
home court.
I like home field. I'll put money. What's the line right now? I mean, we're betting experts, so we need to tell the people what to do. Like they need to.
Please take my advice.
Their kids like college fund, and whether or not their kids eat today needs to be dependent on our
Yes,
betting
your
advice.
rent today needs to be put on this game. Let's see. The Nuggets are favored -120, so it's not like a big line, but
I mean, just put like $1 million on the Clippers because they're guaranteed to win because we both picked them. Like, you know, you get another $1 million back or something like that.
yeah, I mean, if you put $100 on the Clippers, it's only 102 if you win.
I mean, that's something.
So like, if we put like 1,000, we'll win $20.
Okay. What about $1 million? That's what I'm really looking at.
Max wager is $4,901.
Just go straight to Vegas. They'll probably let you do whatever you want.
Well, yeah, until they saw my bank account, which is not.
Not existent.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Okay, so next.
I have us going for the Pacers versus the Bucks.
Okay, cool.
You good with that?
Yep.
Okay. My first thing I want to mention, I think the most important thing, is there's maybe no Damian Lillard for this series.
Yeah.
He has the blood clot. So the Bucks, Shams reported today actually, or maybe it was yesterday, can't remember. Days are all running together now. That the Bucks are optimistic Damian Lillard will be clear to return at some point during the playoffs. That's all he said, at some point. So I feel like that means he's not going to come back for the Pacers series. So I think we go into it assuming he's not going to be back.
Yeah.
Because I mean, blood clots, like that took out Chris Bosh's career.
Yeah.
Wemby, we don't know what's going to happen with his career because of the blood clot. I mean, we pray he's okay because we want to see that man when he's good. And so, like, this is, like, is Dame really going to come back in the playoffs? I don't really think so.
I don't think he will.
I don't think they'll risk that.
I mean, they should. He's 37.
Might as well risk it. He's about to die anyway or something.
Yeah. I mean, I think this might. I don't know. I've heard like multiple people talk about him and maybe Jokic getting traded this offseason.
Jokic getting traded? I don't see that one.
I don't see it. I see Giannis though.
Let's take a pause. What's the theoretical package for Jokic? Like, who's going for Jokic and who would actually get him?
Well,
I mean,
think-
everyone would try to get him, obviously.
29 teams are calling about Jokic. The teams who have the stuff to pull it off would be, like
My
the
Rockets,
Thunder, the
my
Rockets,
Rockets.
the Spurs. I mean, I don't know what the package. I like a theoretical. Now, this will not happen. They won't trade Jokic.
Unless he asked for it, but I don't think Jokic would.
A theoretical package would be like, for the Rockets, would be like Sengun, Thompson.
In
like-
a lot of picks.
It may be another like player or two,
Yeah.
and then like every pick.
Yeah.
Not every single one, but well, maybe.
Yeah, because Jokic is,
He's the best player.
he should be in the GOAT debate. Like, straight up.
Whoa.
I know that's crazy. I sound like first take here with
I'm
like hot
like
takes.
top 10. I think he's like Larry Bird.
I don't think we've
range.
ever seen this good of an offensive peak ever. Like, this man is averaging 30, 12, and 10 on a nightly basis. That doesn't happen. His team without him would be a 12-win team. Like, this team is awful without him.
What about when Wilt was averaging like 50?
But it's a different era. It's a different era. We're not talking about when they played against firemen or whatever people say.
Sure. A bunch of plumbers.
Yeah, but
No
like,
offense.
I think Jokic probably has to win another chip or two. But if he comes out of his career with 3 chips and like 6 MVPs, what's saying that he's not the same level as LeBron or Michael?
Well, okay, yeah. If he came out with 6 MVPs,
Well, he should already have 5.
he has
3.
3.
He should have won the
And he has one
racist one.
championship.
He has one championship.
He's not. I don't.
I get it. Championships are the thing everyone loves the most,
He's just. I don't know that he's gonna get to 3.
and that's because the situation he's in. Right? If he was in LeBron's situation with the Heat, if he was in Michael's situation with the Bulls, Buddy would do the same amount of stuff. But anyway,
I don't know what the trade package for Jokic would be. I don't know that there is a trade package for him.
it would be something revolutionary.
So yeah, it would be like, who says no between Shea and Jokic? The Nuggets or the Thunder?
I think the Nuggets say no. Well,
Probably both.
okay, so if
They probably both say no.
Jokic acts out, the Nuggets say yes immediately because that's the best you can get. But I think
just saying,
the
like,
Thunder would
they don't
improve.
ask
The
out.
Thunder would improve.
I think they would both say no.
They probably both say no. Well, I don't know if the
What
Thunder.
about Wemby? And I think they both say no.
Yeah, I think actually the Thunder would say yes against Jokic. Like, I think that's how much of a gap in the view of the league between Jokic and Shea. Like, you ask
Oh,
anyone
I think
in the
Shea's
league.
number 2.
You know, I'm saying, but that's how much a gap between those two are. Like, you ask anyone in the league, Jokic is the top player. Everyone would say that. All the players. Like, there's a gap between those two.
Sure.
Yes, Shea's probably number 2. Argument with Giannis and Luka.
Jason Tatum.
I don't think he's. I think Jason Tatum's a clear 5.
The Ringer has him at number 4 right now.
And
I just had the Ringer
they have
pulled up.
Luka number 5.
Number 5.
I mean, I guess Luka is like hasn't played a lot this season.
They have LeBron number 7. I don't think that's right.
I mean, I think LeBron's top 10. Like he's kind of.
Right now,
So I had him at the beginning of the
they
season
have
like
KD top 10 too. I don't.
Okay,
agree
that
with
one's stupid. That one's stupid. But I had like LeBron around like 12, 13, 14 at the beginning of the season. He's played so dang good this season. I think LeBron deserves to go back up in the top 10.
Okay.
But let's go back to the Bucks.
Yeah,
we
sorry.
got on a tangent, my goodness.
Okay, so Bucks. I mean, Kuzma. I've never been a big Kuzma fan, and I've never been less of a
Is
Kuzma fan.
Kuzma like your biggest op in life?
No, it's probably Westbrook.
Why is Westbrook your biggest op? That feels random.
I just him and Harden at the same. So okay,
The Rockets Westbrook Harden days were probably the worst watch for you of all time.
there was a 3-way race for the MVP, and I think it was 2016. Mm-hmm. Okay, so Kawhi,
Yeah.
Harden, Westbrook.
Yeah.
Okay, and I was like, giant Kawhi fan.
Wait, time out. How do you pronounce it?
Kawhi,
Kawhi.
I
thought you were saying Kawhi.
no Kawhi.
A Kawhi. Okay. My bad.
All right,
I totally
I'll
thought
just
it was
say Leonard.
Kawhi. I kind of like Kawhi better.
Kawhi.
Kawhi. I'm gonna start calling it that now. I totally thought that's what you
Am
were
I
saying.
saying it wrong?
I don't think
Kawhi?
so. I thought you were saying Kawhi, and I was like, we need to pause here.
I don't know, man. Maybe I do have some speech stuff going on.
No.
But I think he's awesome. I mean, then he was the best defensive player.
Yeah.
Okay, like by a substantial margin.
Oh yeah, he was. LeBron was scared to go against him.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy.
And I thought he was the best scorer in the league.
James Harden was a better scorer. James Harden's prime was different scoring.
Yeah, but Kawhi was like way more efficient. Like way more efficient.
He was more efficient, but he took less shots and had less offensive responsibility.
Yeah, but they were making the same amount of shots,
But
and he was shooting way less. And he was the best defensive player.
James Harden was the system, quote unquote. He led a 60-win team, and it was just him and Eric Gordon.
James Harden is the
And Eric Gordon and PJ Tucker. So anyway, I agree that Kawhi's a great defender, but I think James Harden at that time was the better offensive player.
I'm still on Kawhi in that one.
Yeah.
But I was also a Kawhi fan at the time.
So that's kind of why you hate those two. That's where
Yeah, it's mostly Westbrook because I thought he was never good.
Oh yeah, no, Westbrook won the MVP that year, right?
I don't.
It was.
Okay.
Because Harden won in like 2017 or 2018, and that's when I wanted to kill someone after that. Like I was but Steph, I think it was 2017 MVP.
2017 might be what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it was Westbrook. And yeah, Harden should have won 3 in a row. Anyway, that's a lot of past trauma. I think we should move on to the present trauma. So back to the Pacers Bucks. I'm a big Pacers fan in this series.
Yeah,
Because
I mean,
they've been like so good. Like since January 1st. Like since January 1st, they've been 34-14.
sure.
since January 1st, they're 6th in offensive rating and 10th in defensive rating, so top 10 in both, which is really important for the playoffs. And it's really coincided with Tyrese Halliburton figuring things out. Because at the beginning of the season, let's be honest, he was kind of doo-doo. Like, he was not playing good.
He started off slow.
And I think it was part of that injury he got in the playoffs.
The hamstring?
Hamstring. He played bad in the playoffs, and he started off the season just poorly. But as soon as he started figuring it out, this team, I think, has been playing better than the Knicks.
Okay.
Like, their offense has been so smooth as it is with Tyrese Halliburton, and their defense has just been really solid. And they have so much depth, they can just throw a lot of people out there, like Mathurin. They have, what's-his-face, Nimhard.
Yeah.
They have TJ McConnell.
Top-end.
Yeah, they have a lot of guys they can throw out there who can defend, who can shoot, who can just
Turner,
contribute.
Siakam.
And so I'm a big Pacers guy in this series. Like,
Yeah, I
without
agree.
Dame, I don't see the Bucks winning it.
They run, man. They run fast. They're going to play fast, score a lot of points. I don't think that's good for the Bucks.
The Bucks are old.
The Bucks are old. They can't really move. Where does the shot creation come from? I don't know. Like, besides Giannis, like, we know Giannis is going to get 30, 15, and 6.
Yeah.
I mean, where is the three-point shooting? Who's doing the off-ball, moving around?
There's not much out there.
Who's doing on-ball stuff? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like with Dame in this series, I think it'd be a lot closer. Like,
Yeah.
I think maybe I'd pick the Bucks even. It would be really close. It'd be a toss-up for me.
Sure.
But without Dame, like, similar to the Nugget situation, like, Giannis is clearly the best player in this series. Like,
Yeah.
like you said, he's got to score 30 points and 15 rebounds every night.
Yeah, he's easily the best player, and that's the only reason why I would be, like, nervous to pick the Pacers, but
But who do you have around him? Like, you have Bobby Portis, the second best player.
he's coming off an injury.
Kyle Kuzma, Brooke Lopez,
Absolutely not Kuzma.
Gary Trent Jr. Come on.
Kevin Porter Jr.'s been playing a lot more,
He's
but
kind of been cooking a bit, but
I don't know if
he's not reliable.
Yeah. Well, didn't he used to be a Rocket?
yeah, and then he got in trouble with the loss. They dropped
yeah,
him.
yeah.
I'm glad we don't have him anymore. He was just like, he was bad. That's all I'll say about him. I was not a fan of him.
Not a big fan.
Not a big fan. But yeah, same as like Giannis doesn't have help, and the help he does have is old. And this Pacer team is young, it's fast, and it just has a very smooth offense. I mean, once again, Giannis is so good. Like, he's only participated in 3 games since the 2022 playoffs. So this is gonna be the first playoffs he'll be healthy in a while. And I think some of us have forgotten how good, like, prime, like, Giannis was in the playoffs. Like,
Yeah.
his last series was a second rounder against the Celtics where they lost 4-3. The Celtics team that went on to lose to the Warriors in the championship. Yeah. And he averaged 34 points per game, 15
I think
rebounds.
they would have won though.
Yeah, and
I think.
yeah, and 7 assists. Like, that's what he averaged against them. And he also dropped like 50, I think it was, in the last game, in that they lost
I
in
will
game
say,
7.
Like, basketball fantasy player, he is like, or back when I was doing a lot, he was like the best.
Yeah, no, because he does everything. He
Yeah.
does all the stats.
And he doesn't miss shots because all he does is dunk. So
And so, like, Giannis is back. And I think we'll be reminded how good Giannis is in the playoffs. But once again, with just an old lineup around you with no other scorers, like, no one else can create their own shots.
Yeah.
Like, the second best shot creator for themselves is Kyle Kuzma, and he's not a good basketball player.
I think it's Porter.
It could be Porter, which that man was on the streets not that long ago. Like, that man was going to jail not that long ago.
Fair.
Like, if that's your second best shot creator against a team like the Pacers, who's been 34-14 in this new year, I just can't pick the Bucks. So I have Pacers in 6.
Yeah, so I'll go Pacers in 5.
Okay.
I just don't know that the Bucks have enough
Yeah.
this time around.
Yeah, but I think Pacers just have too much depth and, like, just things to throw at the Bucks. Like, just have players to throw.
They have a
at
lot
them.
more looks than the Bucks have right now.
Like, they can throw Halliburton, they can throw Siakam, Mathurin, Turner, Neesmith, Toppin, Nimhard, TJ McConnell. All those guys
Walker,
contribute
they have a bunch of dudes.
on a regular basis, and they all are skilled players, and they're all hustled. They're young, and on their other hand, you have Brooke Lopez and Bobby Portis and Kyle Kuzma trying to stop them. Sorry,
Yeah.
Giannis. Like,
Could
if
you
you had-
roll a line out with those 4? Just like
What do you mean?
Put my best 4 players on the court, and it's Kuzma, Giannis, Brook Lopez, and Bobby Portis.
Oh my lord! And then I guess Kevin Porter Jr. with them. I mean, that's what they're gonna have to do. That's the lineup that
No,
has
then
to
you would
win.
do Prince, I think.
I guess Prince, yeah.
Tarian Prince at point guard.
See,
You would be massive.
you'd be massive. I mean, maybe that's. I think as the Bucks, you got to be unique in this series. You got to try some crazy things.
I think that they should just roll that
Big
out.
ball.
Just
I
for,
mean,
like, the
Giannis can play
first-
point guard low key. Like he just runs downhill and
like
then
the
passes
first
out.
6 minutes of the first quarter.
just like shock the Pacers.
Yeah.
And they're just like shock
And then
like
just like every once in a while, you just like randomly 5-man sub that lineup in and just like chaos for like
it's
5
like
minutes.
it's like the Terror Twins for the Rockets. You know when they put in Amin Thompson and Tari Eason, then the teams are just scared for 5 minutes. They'd just be scared because this lineup would be so big.
Y'all should trade for the other Thompson twin.
Would be electric. That'd be the scariest lineup of all time. Offensively, it would be awful.
Nobody would ever score ever again.
If you put that lineup the whole game, the final score of the game would be like 12-13.
You would get games like 82-79.
Would be cinema. Like Stephen A. Smith would be like, "Oh, this is like back in the day with Michael. I think Amin Thompson's the GOAT because he plays just like Michael," or something like that.
Oh man, no, I don't know what the Bucks do. I think that they're cooked.
Yeah.
Without
Once again, Giannis could be another trade this offseason.
I think Giannis will get moved. I don't know if it's this year.
I don't think it's this year. I think
But-
it has to be next year.
I was trying to think of some Giannis teams the other day. Do
Yeah.
you have any that?
Let's look at that.
So like, and we've done with our first 2 series, we've done 2 trade things.
Hey,
So I just want to say,
love
Jokic
trades.
will not be traded. Giannis, however, I think it could happen. The teams that stick out to me, like a Cat swap with Giannis.
Cat's been so good for that Knicks team.
Yeah, but I would take Giannis over Cat.
I think I would too. I think you would try to package a bunch of picks and then like Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, and like Josh Hart. But you probably would have to do Cat.
all 3 of their wings.
You got Giannis.
No.
You got Giannis.
There's no way.
Okay, imagine
All
a Cat,
3
Giannis,
wings?
and Jalen Brunson.
Okay, yeah, but you would have no wings.
Well, you'd have to figure that out later. I'm sounding like the Suns all of a sudden, but you'd have to figure out that. Oh, I said it.
I'll bleep it out.
Okay, please do in the edit. That's my
I'll
bad.
bleep it out.
My language, my French has got worse recently, so I gotta lock in.
I thought Western Conference like Rockets.
Rockets are always a name for that. I think Giannis can't shoot enough, so you add more non-shooting that team would be a little whack.
Well, I think he would play center.
So you'd have to trade away Şengün.
I think
it
it would be Şengün and somebody.
Yeah, I just don't love that fit. I mean, of course it's Giannis, so I love the fit, but it's out of all like the superstars, maybe makes the least amount of sense. But then again, it's Giannis. He's a top 3 player in the league, so I would take him.
I'm just trying to think. Like the Thunder could do it with like a Hartenstein, some of their younger dudes.
Something
picks.
whack would be like the Grizzlies. What if Jaren Jackson's the piece?
I think it would be. See, I think Morant's getting traded.
But you need a point guard. Jaren Jackson and both Giannis together doesn't make quite as much sense. And I think Jaren Jackson's the one valued more by people.
Maybe.
And so I would kind of like that lineup. You got Ja, Desmond Bane, and
but
Giannis.
Ja can't shoot. Giannis can't shoot.
The shooting's bad, but Desmond could shoot if you have some other shoes around them. And you
I
have
just don't know.
that pick and roll between Ja and Giannis would be kind of nice.
The 80 Giannis pick and roll.
Would be
It would be a pick and roll.
would be literally just nightmare fuel for all NBA teams.
I'm trying to think.
I
Like a
kinda like that
Warriors,
Grizzlies.
like a. I don't
Warriors
know.
is always a spot people talk about.
I don't know if they have the picks.
They
to
don't have
do
the
it.
pieces. Like who's the centerpiece of that deal?
Well, it would be like a. It would be like a Butler Kaminga.
I don't think that's appealing enough because Butler's going to leave within 2 years, and Kaminga's not that guy.
I mean, I think the Spurs would try it
The Spurs would try.
because I actually think Wemby and Giannis
The Pistons
would
would
fit.
try. I just don't think they have a piece as well.
The Pistons actually, I think, would have the pieces.
They have the pieces, so it depends what the Bucks want. If the Bucks want like a lot of
Well-
just first round picks and stuff, Pistons have that. But if they want a centerpiece player, the Pistons don't have that.
I mean, if you're trading Giannis, you're trading Lillard.
Yeah, so maybe it's just a breakdown. So get a Sar
Lillard-
Thompson, get Jalen
Yeah,
Duren.
you get a Sar.
Like those guys are good.
Yeah,
maybe
you
get
could get Duren.
maybe get an Ivy, someone like that.
I don't think you would get Ivy.
I mean, I think you can
Actually, it's
you can get whoever you want.
It's Giannis, so I mean,
I like the
Yeah.
Pistons low-key the best because you get Cade
Yeah.
that second star, which is what he needs.
yeah, they would want it. I think the Rockets personally would want it, but
Yeah, no, I think the Rockets, both Rockets, Pistons make a lot of sense for almost all these stars.
yeah,
because that's what both those teams are kind of missing.
Lillard gets moved right this offseason.
I don't know.
Like, would you do KD for Lillard?
I mean, I would do that. I just don't think the Suns would do that.
You don't think?
Like at this point, I'm getting baited into this. I'm gonna.
You don't think the team south of the Jazz would do that?
I do not think the team south of the Jazz. I don't think
Really?
that orange team would do it.
I think they would.
I think the orange team would want to get a little younger. They want something more. They tried to get something out of Devin Booker's timeline, and it just didn't work.
I don't think they're going to try and rebuild.
I don't think they're trying to rebuild, but I don't think they'd want Dame, who's an aging star, who has a blood clot issues now. He's 37. That feels like a 1-2 year rental for a team that wants a championship. And this orange team knows they're not going to get a championship soon.
Okay, 5 minutes. KD's getting moved. Who are the 3 or 4 teams?
Yeah, no, it's like guaranteed. There's a report today. Shams literally put out a report
Okay, I haven't seen it.
like an hour ago.
Do you know the teams?
No, not the teams. But it's just he said like he's gonna get traded. Let me see.
Oh, okay. Well, I've known that for a while, but I mean,
it's like reported.
okay. My guess for the
Yeah, they're gonna work on a trade together.
okay.
Kevin Durant and that orange team gonna work on a trade together.
I don't think they're gonna get a bunch from him for him.
Yeah, he's just not as valuable.
Yeah,
Similar to
so
Dame.
I think teams that could fit. I think I'm gonna start with the West. I'm gonna say the Spurs. Mm-hmm. I've said the Spurs 3 times now.
But I mean, they're a logical spot for a star.
He would fit, and there's a package that makes sense out there. Mavericks, it would be like a Kyrie for KD,
Yeah.
I think.
If you could find a way to not give up Kyrie and keep Kyrie, AD, and KD, would go crazy.
Yeah,
I
but-
just don't see a package for that.
Oh, well, you're not. I mean, you can't for the team south of the Jazz. They can't receive multiple players in a trade,
Yeah.
so it has to be one player.
Yeah, that'd be the problem.
The Rockets,
Unless
could
you do
it.
2 for 2. So you could
Yeah,
you pair Kevin Durant with like a low salary player and get 2 higher salary
Maybe,
players.
yeah.
Kind of thing. But yeah, they can't add an extra player in a deal.
So maybe the Mavericks could pull it off.
That would be if like Kevin Durant's value is so low that none of the like younger teams are going to give much. That's the only case I think the Mavericks would pull it off.
I could see the Rockets doing it for like a Fred VanVleet kind of move, but I think his contract ends.
He
it would
has
have
one
to
more
be-
year.
One more?
Uh-huh.
So I could see
that'd be perfect if you just had Fred and Picks.
and Picks.
Like that's what the Rockets are missing is that kind of shooter, scorer who can like take over.
Honestly, if I were the Nuggets, I would consider it.
I would consider it too.
I would do MPJ.
Yeah, MPJ.
Or actually, I would do, well,
I do MPJ. He
over
basically
Gordon.
he basically takes over the MPJ role and does it better, more efficiently, better scorer, passer, better at everything.
Okay. I'm trying to think of other teams.
Let me go to East. I could see the Magic potentially doing it because they have no offense. Like it's the worst offense I've ever seen.
Would you just start 3 6'10" guys who aren't centers?
Yeah, and maybe just go really weird small ball or go really big like weird big ball. One of the two. But you'd have to trade probably like
Yeah.
some good young players like an Anthony Black or a Jalen Suggs. So that may be too much
Like
for
the
them.
Heat wouldn't be in on this. Would the
No.
Sixers be in on this?
It maybe if it's like
PG and picks.
that would mean the orange team is willing to break down because you're taking on PG contract. You know you're cooked. You have Bradley Beal and the PG contract. Would it be the worst financial situation
Yeah.
like I've ever seen in my life?
It would be bad.
I mean, the Knicks is another one potentially, and so you replace maybe trade a OG Anunoby or a Josh Hart or a
Dude,
Mikal
I
Bridges.
do not like the OG contract at all.
What is the contract?
It's like really big.
It is.
It's like I think it's like 200 million.
Yeah, so I mean, the money would
over
work.
5 years, I want to say.
Yeah, they
Here,
signed
I'll
him to a
look it
big
up.
deal.
I'll look it up. You talk.
But no, I like the Knicks. Like, I think the Knicks aren't good enough to win a championship right now. I think Kevin Durant would put them up there with the Cavs, the Thunder, the Nuggets. Well, not the Nuggets now, because the Nuggets they need more stuff. But the
Yeah.
Nuggets, in theory, both the Cavs, the Celtics, the Thunder, I think the Knicks would elevate to that level with Kevin Durant.
So the OG contract is 5 for 212.
Dang, bro, that's bad.
So
That's bad.
I am, but they are over the second apron, so I'm not 100% sure they can do it.
Yeah, but this is just kind of in theory. So I like the Knicks a lot. I like the Rockets a lot. I like the Spurs. And maybe, in theory, the Timberwolves. Like, you would have to trade away Julius Randle again, I guess. Or maybe Rudy Gobert.
Dude, I don't know why they. I would have kept Cat over Gobert.
That trade still makes no sense. Like, right now, if they had Cat, the Timberwolves would be one of the best teams in the West. I think they'd be my second best team.
Is that our next one to talk about?
That is our next one to talk
Okay,
about.
let's just go ahead and get into it. Good transition.
Bro, our transitioning skills, insane. Okay, so we got number 3 Lakers versus the number 6 Timberwolves.
This is my most fun one.
This one's gonna be really fun. This one I debated up with the Clippers Nuggets series. This one's gonna be the most cinema because of the star power.
Okay.
The other one, the Nuggets series, is more like nerds are gonna love it, like the basketball
Okay.
nerds. This one is like flashy. It's gonna be a lot of emotions, a lot of wacky stuff happening. It's gonna be fun to watch.
Yeah. Okay. So, what team you want to start off with?
Let's start off with the Timberwolves.
Okay.
They're definitely the underdog.
Yeah. I don't think they match up well because I think Rudy Gobert is nearly unplayable.
Especially in the very end of these,
Yeah.
like the games, like he's gonna be hard to play.
Well, I think if I'm the Lakers, I might never play Jackson Hayes or Vanderbilt. I think I would maybe never play them.
I kind of like that strategy. You play them in little spurts here or there just to
Yeah.
mix up the matchups. But I think in your closing minutes,
I think you would start Rui at the 5.
yeah, you have Rui at the 5, and those like Rui at the 5 minutes have actually been really good. And even defensively, they've been surprisingly good. You think
Yeah.
they'd get like beaten in the interior? They really haven't necessarily.
Well, they don't have a traditional big, but they are big.
They're really big.
They're really big. They're 1 through 4. Like they can start guys who are all like 6, 7.
Yeah, their point guard is 6'8" Luka.
6, 7.
6'7". There's gonna be edit there.
Yep. Hopefully.
But yeah, their point guard's like 6'8" Luka. They can start LeBron, who's like 6'10". Reeves is still decently big. Like he's a 6'5" guy, so he's got to probably be the smallest in that lineup. Rui,
And
who's
then you got
6'8".
Finney, you got
Finney's
Dalton, you got all sorts of dudes.
6'7". Dalton's like 6'5". Like everyone's big,
Vincent's a little bit smaller, but
he's not gonna get too many minutes. And like in the closing lineup, here's my thought of the closing lineup.
okay.
You would have Reeves. So let's say Luka at the 1, Reeves at the 2. You have LeBron at the 3, DFS at the 4, and Rui at the 5. But it's kind of fluid. That's not the exact numbers. It would be fluid. Like Rudy Gobert cannot play in that lineup.
No, he can't.
Also, Julius Randle, like he could get it. Like he's gonna get exposed on like switches with both Luka and LeBron. I feel
I
like
think he's guarding LeBron.
I know. I mean, he's big, but I feel like that's not a good matchup.
Okay, so in that scenario, the Wolves finishing 5 would be so I'm taking this from Bill Simmons. He said Dante DiVincenzo,
Yeah.
Ant, McDaniels, I guess Randall and Reed.
Yeah.
Which I like that 5.
Like that's the 5 they're gonna have to play the most, and it's a pretty good 5. Like you got some really good score. Of course, Anthony Edwards is a great scorer, but I've really liked how Dante DiVincenzo has put it all together at the end of the season. Like he started off pretty bad, but recently he's been playing pretty good. I mean, J.D. McDaniel's a good defender. Naz Reid can shoot the ball well, but he's big. Julius Randle's big. So I think that lineup matches up pretty well against the Lakers lineup. Mm-hmm. But how are you stopping both LeBron and Luka with that lineup?
Well, Dante can defend a little bit.
but he can't defend Luca or LeBron level. Like the only one who could defend that level.
Yeah, no, Dante would be on Reeves.
But they're gonna find those switches. Like that's gonna be the Lakers' offense is getting those switches for Luca and LeBron to expose those matchups.
But I think in theory, not that they would be able to defend them well, but McDaniels, Randall, and Edwards, and even to some extent Reed, could all play with those.
They could all play with those two. I agree, but they don't have like a stopper. Like none of those players, even Jaden McDaniels, I think he's one of the best defenders, but he's not big enough.
He's a good. I mean, he's 6'9".
He's 6'9", but he's 185. He's just a little too skinny, especially for Luca and LeBron to like get
Well,
physical.
he's going to be guarding Luca.
Yeah.
And I think Randall will be guarding LeBron. And I think Ant will switch between the
Yeah.
two.
Like I think they're all solid, good defenders, especially Jaden McDaniels. I think LeBron and Luca have an offensive game that just steps above that defensive level. And that's why I just think the Lakers have the advantage. Like I think this small ball lineup matching against the Lakers small ball lineup is going to be good. It's going to be what they're forced to do. Mm-hmm. But I just think their defense is going to be not quite good enough.
So I think the winner of this series goes to the Western Conference Finals.
Ooh. I don't think that's necessarily true.
I think
both Warriors and Rockets could beat one of these teams. I don't even know if I would pick them, but I think it's not decided.
See, I don't think either of the – I don't think any – well, we'll talk about the play-in teams in a second. I don't think either one would go past 5.
Okay.
With the Rockets.
Okay. I think the Warriors could potentially win that series, but we could talk about the play-in teams in a bit.
Okay.
But yeah, I think both these teams, whoever wins, I do think there's a good chance they can get to the finals. Like the Rockets and or the Warriors, while they'll be a tough matchup, it's not like a scary matchup. It's not like they're facing the Thunder second round or facing the Clippers or the Nuggets. I think all three of those teams would be a scarier second round matchup for these guys.
Oh, for sure.
So both these teams are in a really good spot.
Yeah.
Whoever wins the series in a really good spot.
So we're talking about Minnesota a lot. Do we want to talk a little
Lakers?
A little bit.
I have one more thing about the Timberwolves.
Okay.
I think so. We talked about like the defensive end, how they get stopped LeBron and Luka. Is it possible? I think we can flip that around. Mm-hmm. Once again, Lakers are a good defensive team, but they do have a few holes. Like Luka, Austin Reeves is low key a hole. Like he's like defensively. Like he plays hard. He can defend a little bit, but like that's a matchup that Anthony Edwards can expose. I think Anthony Edwards, he's going to go off. He's going to have good games. But can Julius Randle overcome his playoff like demons? Because like in the past, he's been awful in the playoffs. Like his career shooting percentage in the playoffs is 34% overall and 28 from deep.
34%?
Yeah. He averages 4 turnovers per game in playoffs and only 17 points.
Dude, we in our intramural basketball league, we shot better than that.
Yeah, I think I would be better than Julius Randle. You would be... this man in intramural basketball, those hook shots, you'd be better than Julius Randle.
You're basically Tony Parker.
And you're basically Tim Duncan.
No. We were just missing our Ginobili.
We lost every single game. We had 4 games, we lost all 4. So
I guess Samuel was like our Tiago Splitter.
I love that comparison. That's so funny.
I don't know. We didn't have a Danny Green.
If we would have had that Danny Green, oh baby, we would have won the championship.
Kawhi.
Yeah, we were.
We didn't have Ginobili.
Josh gives Kawhi vibes.
Josh, maybe.
Our best listener, our most loyal listener, Josh, gives Kawhi vibes. Just a little bit.
Kawhi vibes?
He's a linky defender, but he's mainly an offensive rebounder, though.
Yeah, okay. He did get some offensive rebounds. What about Boris Diaw vibes?
Okay, I like that. Sorry, Josh, you're Boris Diaw instead of Kawhi.
No, I thought he was good. I mean, Boris Diaw made a career for himself.
You're right.
Yeah.
And somehow we got Tony Parker and Tim Duncan. We came out if you're the best.
I'm definitely not Tim Duncan. I'm like Matt Bonner if he can chew. I'm Jaleel Okafor.
Okay, we're good with that. And I'll be like Walmart brand Tony Parker.
You're Trey Jones.
I'll be Trey Jones. Yes, that's perfect. That's perfect. But yeah, Julius Randle has been so bad in the playoffs, but I think if he's been playing pretty good at the end of the season.
Okay.
He's picked it up since his injury, which was about a month ago. The Timberwolves as a whole have picked it up. They've had a pretty good winning percentage since then. They've figured out the offensive, like it was weird at the beginning of the season. It just didn't make sense. Mm-hmm. It's made a little more sense. I think the key to the series is Julius Randle. If
Okay.
he's scoring on offense, it's going to be hard for the Lakers to stop both Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle.
Okay, so
Sit-
I think the key is McDaniels.
Okay, give me your McDaniels.
Because I think he
take.
has to be better against, because he's going to get the Luka assignment.
Mm-hmm.
I think he has to be better both defensively and offensively than he was against them in the conference finals.
Mm.
And so I think this is a big McDaniel series. I think it's a big Randall series too, but you actually need McDaniels to hit shots and defend well.
Yeah.
So
I think a trend I've been noticing in our takes is that the stars are going to be stars, right?
yeah.
But you need second and third stars, second and third pieces. You need the pieces around you to
Well,
be
you
good too.
you need 7 dudes that you can go to war with.
Yes.
And your
And you
closing lineup, you need a 4 and a 5 who can hit shots.
And you need like 2 to 3 who are like can take over games kind of. Not necessarily, but like 2 or 3 who you trust with the ball in their hands.
Yeah,
scoring.
you need two
I'd
you
say
need two creators.
2 creators, and you need the other 3 guys you trust to make the right plays. You trust to make the right passes, to hustle, to make the right rebounds, and then you need at least 2 bench players you can trust, preferably
see-
3.
And like I really want to pick Minnesota because I actually think that they have a better chance of making it all the way than the Lakers. But I think the Lakers have a better chance of winning this series.
Okay.
Because I think like Rudy Gobert, I think you can play him against OKC. I think you can play him against the Rockets. I think you can play him against the Clippers and the Nuggets. I don't think you can play him against the Lakers.
Yeah, Luka and LeBron will expose that
Like,
man.
Does he get 20 minutes a game? In the last, let's say this game goes to 7. I think the last 4 games he wouldn't get 20 minutes.
Yeah, I think
in.
first 3 games he's got to play as usual.
Yeah.
And it's like the last 4.
I just don't know how you like. We were talking about that Lakers last 5 a little bit. I mean, Luka, LeBron, Austin Reeves, Rui, and then let's just say it's DFS. Like, who are you? He's not on Rui,
Yeah.
right? I mean, I guess
You'd
maybe.
had to like what Rudy does best is he's paint defender. Like he's a great paint defender. And he's such a valuable player and he's such a core to this team and defense actually.
Rui can shoot, dude.
But the thing is you can't leave Rudy in the paint against Rui. Like you can't.
Yeah.
Like you can't leave in the paint when they're playing that 5-ball small lineup.
No. Well, they can play 5 out, and any team that plays 5 out is going to be able to basically just take Rudy out of the game.
And he's a key player for the Timberwolves. As much as we like to make fun of him or whatever,
Well,
he's a key player.
I'm not a hater at all.
Yeah, I'm not
But
either.
the problem is you're paying the dude $50 million a year,
Yeah.
and when a 5 out lineup can be played,
It takes him off the court.
it takes him off the court. You can't. You have to have, if you're going to pay a dude $50 million a year, he needs to be able to play all the time.
And he's one of the core people, like players of their identity and how they win games.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that being taken away is why I'm going to pick Lakers in 6. Is just because they have a small ball lineup that can take away one of the Timberwolves core players. Even though I like the Timberwolves small ball lineup and I think they'll be able to do some things, especially if Julius Randle, Jaden McDaniels can score, but I just don't think it'll be enough.
Yeah, I'm going to go Lakers in 7.
Yeah.
I think we've picked the same.
We have just different numbers for each game. Maybe this one will be different. We got the number 3 Knicks versus the number 6 Pistons.
I don't foresee this one being different.
No, I don't either, but what's your thoughts on this series?
Well, the Pistons is a good story. I wish Jaden Ivey wouldn't have gotten hurt early in the year. Dennis Schroeder's been a good pickup for them, a good trade pickup. I think Tobias Harris has been way better than Paul George this year.
Yeah.
Beasley's been good. I like Beef Stew and Ron Holland just like causing fights. And then Jalen Duren's been really good. He's
Yeah.
athletic. He's like a more athletic version of Clint Capella? Question mark.
That's actually a pretty good comp. I like that.
And so, I mean, on it, like they're the same size and everything. I think there's a lot of similarities, like between the Pistons and those Houston Rockets teams. Houston Rockets team.
Teams?
Yeah, teams. And
Like this current year of the Rockets, or
no. Like with Harden and
yeah, okay, I like that
I
comparison.
feel like it's before, like Cade's not like, obviously Cade's not to that level yet.
it's like Harden's first year in Houston.
It's like
kind of
it's like
vibes.
both of them are younger together and they're both figuring it out. But I do like the Pistons. I think they're probably outmatched in this one a little bit. I like they have more depth, kind of,
They do. They have a lot of cool guys coming off the bench.
but I'm not sure that they have quite the scoring outside of.
Of Cade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Cade has to have like an otherworldly series for this team to win.
yeah.
And I think the key to this series, when I was thinking about it, is probably Cat.
Okay.
And the reason I think it's Cat is because Jalen Brunson, you can throw some defenders at him that are going to annoy him, especially Asar Thompson.
Oh, I didn't even mention Asar.
Yeah, like you can throw at him, it's going to annoy Jalen Brunson. You can throw Ron Holland, you can throw some people at him that's going to annoy him as a defender. And so I think you can like hurt, like Jalen Brunson's going to score. He's going to get his shots.
Sure.
But especially if Asar Thompson following him around, like he's going to struggle a bit. But who you putting on Cat, right? Cat's kind of like a unicorn player. He's a 7-footer who can shoot. He can handle the ball a bit. It's like Jalen Duren. I mean, Jalen Duren's good and athletic, but he's best when he's in the paint. So maybe you put a wing on him.
Beef
but,
stew.
like putting Beef Stew once again. Though Beef Stew is physical and is probably gonna
I hope they do put Beef Stew on him, and I hope Beef Stew punches him right in the face.
and then Cat's out for the series.
First quarter, just like shake him up. You say Beef Stew, or maybe you do it to Ron Holland.
Is that the strategy?
You go, Ron Holland, you're a rookie. You're really not going to be like,
Earn your stuff, earn your keep, buddy.
yeah. All right, here's what we need you to do: break his nose first play. Like you know that Kobe, like I'm going to go right through his chest thing.
Yeah.
To who was it, Gasol?
That makes sense.
I think they need to do that, but with Ron Holland to Cat. Like just walk up to him and punch him right in the face.
Take him out of the series. That's how you win. The bad boy Pistons come back.
I think just square in the nose so you make him play with the mask and be uncomfortable.
I mean, this team has had the most fights, the Pistons.
Oh yeah.
So let's just start off the series like that. Just punch Cat in the nose, have a giant fight. That's how you're gonna win.
Suspended for like 4 games.
Who cares? I mean, Ron Holland's a good defender. They're gonna miss him, but it's okay.
You got Beef Stew.
You got Beef Stew.
You got Thompson.
Bro, you're a big Beef Stew guy.
All right, well then I guess you pick Beef Stew.
Yeah, get Beef Stew out of there. I mean, I love that guy. But you need, once again, going back to Cat, you need someone who's big and who can also move with him.
Yeah.
And the Pistons just don't have that. And especially in that Jalen Brunson Cat pick and roll, I don't know how the Pistons are stopping that. Like, Asar Thompson's great. Ron Holland's great. Those defenders are great. But when they're switched on to Cat, then now Jalen Brunson can get a shot. And also Cat can get a little physical with Asar and get a shot. Like, I just don't think they could stop that pick and roll. Honestly.
It's gonna be hard.
Like I that's the problem. But I'm gonna give my Pistons pitch. I don't know if I'm not picking them. I'm not picking them. But the Pistons were 3-1 against the Knicks
Okay.
in the regular season.
Yeah.
The Pistons are scrappy. They're getting a lot of fights. They're gonna put high intensity, high effort. They're young. The Knicks are gonna be tired. They've played all year. The Pistons aren't gonna be tired. They have fresh legs.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna mess with the Knicks a bit. I'm taking the Knicks in 7 games. I think this goes all the way to 7.
Okay.
Like, I think the Pistons make this really, really fun. Similar to the Sixers Knicks series last year.
Yep.
I think it's going to be very similar to that. I think Cade Cunningham, though, you know, he's the only scorer. He did shoot 58% from the field against OG Anunoby and Josh Hart. I saw that stat.
Oh,
So,
I
like,
didn't know that.
he cooked against the Knicks.
Kate shot that high of a percent
Against Josh Hart or
Wow.
OG as the top defender. So I think he's got to go off this series. I just don't think they have enough on the offensive end, but I think they're going to mess with these Knicks.
Yeah, so I'll go Knicks in 5.
Yeah.
Or I'll go Knicks in 6.
Okay.
Just to show my boy some love.
Yeah, show the Pistons some love.
So okay, so we finished all 4.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk playing at all?
I think we do a quick 10 minutes of playing.
Okay, is there any team in the play-in West that you could see making it past the first round?
I think I could see the Warriors.
Okay, I don't think I can see a team making
And
it past.
here's the thing. I'm pulling up a stat, but
Okay.
Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler together has been really good.
Yeah.
Like it just has. It's because Jimmy Butler, with all his flaws, has opened up a lot of offense for Steph. Like the thing that Steph didn't have at the beginning of the season was open shots. Like he didn't have that ability because all they had to focus on was Steph. That's all defenders had to focus on.
Okay.
Was just Steph. There was no other offense on that team.
Sure.
Now you have another guy who can score on his own. It's kept teams honest. So Steph went from beginning of the season, maybe he was a top 20 player, top 15 player, and now he's back into a top 10 player again. Like he
Okay.
went back to kind of old Steph-ish.
Sure.
And when Steph is at his best, he can win some series.
Mm-hmm.
That's my thing. Why do you think the Warriors can't?
So I don't think any of them in the West can. I just even if they're not beating OKC, right?
Yeah.
We can agree on that.
Oh yeah.
Pretty
Okay. If
wholeheartedly.
they lose the first play-in game, whoever loses the first, so the Grizzlies and the Warriors are playing. Whoever loses that one is not going to beat OKC.
Well, I think hot take. I think whoever loses that one loses the next one too.
They're just so depressed.
Well, then they're playing tight because if
Lose to the Nico Harrisons.
the Kings, bro.
No, I really want the Mavs to make it. It would be so funny. And then Nico is on Twitter or
AD.
something this was the right choice. AD has a legacy game against the Warriors or something, knocking them out.
For they squeak by the Kings, and then AD has a 60-point 15 rebound game.
All Mavs fans were Luka was fat. Luka was fat. I was right.
Klay Thompson revenge game.
But he drops 45. It's 27 in the third quarter. Third
No.
quarter, Clay is back.
I think you make the trade for Jimmy Butler. This is devastating because now you have a shot to not make it,
Yeah.
and that's hard.
I mean, in this West, yes, it's devastating they made the 7th seed, so there's a chance that the Warriors just check out. There's a slight chance just because they didn't make the playoffs that they check out. And so that's my only fear of them.
Oh, I don't think they're gonna check out. I think they're gonna be.
Well, I
I
don't
think
know.
they're gonna play tight.
I'm saying it's the Grizzlies. I think there's a chance that they could check out. There's a slight chance that the Clippers Warriors game was almost like a play-in. That game was intense. Harden dropped 39 and 10. Love that man. Clutched up. That was almost like a playoff game, and I could see them
Okay.
coming off that a little just dang.
Maybe. I just don't think the Grizzlies are gonna make the playoff.
Yeah, the Grizzlies are bad, especially. I mean, new coach, they've been just as bad. So it
Yeah,
really
they've
hasn't changed
been
anything.
worse. Maybe not worse, but I mean, I think you just put if you're the Rockets and Golden State wins round 1. What do you Golden State's not scoring.
I mean, the scoring is really the problem. I don't think they're beating the Rockets, but they have been 22-5 with Jimmy and Steph Curry, so you can't ignore that.
But you're putting Amen on Steph.
Yeah, and last
And
time
he's never touching the ball.
that happened, he scored 3 points.
Yeah, he's not touching the ball.
No, I agree that I'd choose the Rockets, but I just can't deny that Jimmy and Steph have been so good together. And
Yeah.
Steve Kerr's a good coach. For all my hate for him, he's still a good coach. And there's some schemes maybe he could scheme up to get them a win. Would I choose
Maybe.
in that series? No, but I think just respecting Steph, respecting Draymond as defender, respecting Jimmy as playoff Jimmy, I think they could give the Rockets a run for their money. And if they beat the Rockets, that means they're cooking.
I don't think that I think if you made me pick all the series and put a percentage chance that they win, I think the Rockets would be the one that I would pick the most favorably.
Besides OKC.
I don't know.
What do you mean?
I think if I'm the Rockets, I am pressing them so hard. Steph Curry's not touching them.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a defender that's quite like that on OKC.
True. Or so you're saying if Warriors played OKC or Warriors played Rockets, what's the more likely upset? And
Sure.
you'd say OKC's the more likely upset.
Like, I think they would probably play OKC better than they would play the Rockets.
In some ways, yes, but it's just the Rockets' offense. There could be some fluky things where the games are so low
Sure.
scoring and Steph and Jimmy hit some shots. I would say the Rockets' upset is more likely.
They just, like, I know they have Curry. Besides Curry, there is not much shooting on that team.
Oh, no, there's not.
So maybe that was a little bit too much. I don't think they have a prayer against either.
Dang, bro.
This is like, I think this was genuinely devastating for them.
Yeah.
Because, like,
That's why I think there's a chance they check out. Because do they really want to face the Rockets? Does
no.
old Steph Curry really want to face the Rockets? Does old Jimmy, who doesn't care most of the time, really want to face the Rockets? They may check out.
Well, we already know who the Rockets are going to put on them, on Curry.
Yeah. And then you got
Curry-
Dylan Brooks on Jimmy Butler.
Or Eason
or
any, like, choice of a billion dudes.
That's why I'm so high on the Rockets. Though they can match, their defenders can match up against anyone.
I do like just a little bit of a Rockets tangent, even though we will talk about them
Next
Friday.
episode. Yeah.
Next episode. I just don't know that next series.
Against like either the Lakers or the Timberwolves.
Yeah, like, okay, you put Thompson on Ant, but they have other dudes who can. I don't know. I just feel better about.
I think they'd beat the Timberwolves. I think the Lakers one would be a little hard.
Well, I think the Timberwolves just match up better because they've Gobert. That's a series that you can actually play Gobert.
True.
Okay, and so they just get way better when they can play him. And then you got Randall, you got DiVincenzo, you got other guys who can score. And then the Lakers, I would pick the Lakers over the Rockets. If nothing else, they just have three dudes who I'm confident can get their own basket.
Yeah. And the one thing that I like in Rockets versus Lakers series, I'm not gonna decide what I choose in that series. I think would be close.
Yeah,
Is the Rockets are so much more athletic than the
this
Lakers.
is true.
Like, once again, I mean, in the playoffs, right? The game gets condensed. Fast break and transition points don't matter as much, nor happen as much. It's more about the half court offense, and that's where Rockets are lacking. But the Rockets are going to be so much more athletic than the Lakers.
Well,
because
I mean,
one, Luka, I mean, he's athletic, right? All these NBA players are athletic, but he's not the he's probably the bottom of the tier of athleticism.
Sure,
LeBron is old, though
he's
athletic.
slightly above Kyle
He's
Anderson.
old. Austin Reeves. That's a crazy diss. That's a crazy diss. Slow-mo Kyle Anderson.
He is slightly above Gobert in the athletic department.
Luka's getting destroyed tonight.
No, not really. I'm joking. But
yeah, LeBron's like, though athletics old, Austin Reeves, athletic, but he's not that physically gifted. You got Rui, who's a solid defender, but he's not that fast. DFS is probably one of the best athletes on that team, and he's not like the most insane. So that's the one thing I would favor for the Rockets at the Lakers is they're so much more athletic.
I think the Rockets, I think it's second round, and I think that's cap.
Okay. I still think they can make a conference championship / a finals appearance if everything went completely right. Like, if it would have to be Jalen Green, Şengün, one of them turned into, like, they figured out how to score consistently.
Jalen Green would have to turn into, like, Mitchell for me to buy in.
Jalen Green, we want it to happen, please.
Speaking of which, like, if the Rockets had, like, I don't know, a certain man on an orange team right now with, well, if they had Booker
Yeah.
or if they had,
KD.
or any guard, Trae Young,
Yeah.
if they had any, well, I don't know about Trae Young, but if they had
I still
a
think Trae Young.
guard I was somewhat confident in,
Yeah.
like, dude,
They would be up there with the
would-
Cavs,
well, I would
Thunder, and Celtics.
Okay, if you put Booker on this team and you took off either Green or Van Fleet,
I didn't get to take off Van Vliet there. Van Vliet has been so bad recently. Like Buddy scoring 3 points per game. Like it's tough.
I think they would be better than the Lakers.
I agree.
think they would be better than
The Knicks.
I think they'd be better than the Wolves. I think they would be better than the Clippers. Well,
The Clippers would be a tough matchup.
Clippers have been playing really well, but I mean they would be that like I think
They'd be the
trade-
tier below the Thunder, Cavs, Celtics. They'd be the tier
yeah.
below that. Right now they're 2 tiers below, I would say.
Probably.
but they would advance that next year.
We agree they are making a trade for a guy, right?
Yeah.
Like it's Morant, it's
It better not
Booker.
be Morant. Unless this is like the testing. This
Okay.
is where they test all their young guys and see which guys are keepable, which guys they get rid of, right? They
I can't wait for the offseason.
They see, hey, is Jalen Green, does he advance? Like, does he elevate in the playoffs? Is he a reliable scorer? Yes or no? We keep him. If a yes, no, he's now a trading piece. Is Şengün, does he get played, like, his defense? I don't think he'll get played off the court kind of thing, but is he a good enough defender? Is he consistent enough on the offense end? Is he explosive enough? Yes or no? Will we put him in the trade talks? Like, I think each young player is almost getting examined right now. Is this a piece that's a core piece for a championship team, or is this a piece to get a core piece?
I don't think you'll have the guy.
I don't think so either, besides maybe if Amin Thompson gets a shot, then he's the guy.
Aside from Amin Thompson, who has the potential to be the guy. I mean, he has so far to go offensively, dude.
But defensively, he's already like a top 5 to top 3 defender in the league.
Defensively,
Maybe the best. Like,
defensively, it's like Kawhi Leonard-esque.
yeah.
Like
already.
it's like it's
And
impressive.
Kawhi took a little bit to develop that offensive game. Like he started off better than Amin did,
Yeah,
but
Well,
it took him a
I think
couple
he
years
was
to figure it
he was
out,
an older prospect.
Yeah.
I think Kawhi was 21.
which probably helped.
Yeah, not that he was great at San Diego State, but
So potentially Amin could be the guy. And if Jalen and Şengün both play like second levels, like second best player on championship teams, which I think those are those guys' peaks, then I think they're both keepable. And you still continue to wait out the rebuild and continue to just grow with these young guys. Because you don't need to rush. This Rockets team is going to be good for the next 10 years.
see, I think Green and Van Fleet get moved.
Potentially, yes.
Yeah.
It depends how Jalen Green plays in the playoffs. It depends how Şengün plays in the playoffs. But if they both play really good, just wait. Be patient. You're not
Sure.
in any rush.
Sure.
You want a young team over trading for Kevin Durant, who's going to be there for 2-3 years.
Yeah, but I think the thing with KD is I don't think you would have to give up that much.
Well, it all depends on the pieces and stuff,
Like, I
right? If
think
it's just Fred VanVleet, yeah, I'm taking that trade.
I think that's why a guy like KD would be such a good pickup for a lot of these teams. Is because like if you're the Spurs, okay, we have to give up whoever,
Yeah.
but he's only on contract for one more year. We're only going to give up like a player and a pick.
Yeah.
For y'all, it'd be like Van Fleet
In a pick or
and
two,
like a pick or two.
I'm taking that immediately.
Yeah, or maybe it's Green and a pick or two.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, and for the Mavs, it's torn ACL Kyrie and a pick.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like KD could. He's definitely getting moved. I think he's getting moved to like a really good competitor. I just don't know who. It could sneakily be a Cavs trade.
If the Cavs don't do well in this playoffs,
Yeah,
yes.
like if they drop to in the second round or something.
Yeah.
Like maybe that's a move.
Yeah, maybe you trade like DeAndre Hunter in a pick.
Well, see, that wouldn't be enough money.
Yeah, so you'd have to figure out some other
It would
stuff.
probably be
But
like Allen.
maybe you say let's get rid of this two big lineup and
It would be
have
something.
KD and Evan Mobley
Yeah.
and then Hunter. That team would be low key pretty good.
Yeah.
Though I think I'm a really big Cavs guy. I think they can win the championship this year.
So I think my favorite is still the Celtics.
Celtics are the most logical favorite, but I can't get off this Cavs train.
If Jaylen Brown's healthy, because he is hurt. But okay, let's go through just real quick. Who are give me your pick for the West playing games.
Okay.
Give me like 2 reasons why.
Yeah.
Whatever you feel like is necessary, and then let's do the Mavs Kings.
Yeah. I think I'm choosing the Warriors over the Grizzlies.
Okay.
Even though there's a chance the Warriors could check out just due to the nature of how defeating that Clippers game was and the fact they traded for Jimmy and still didn't make the playoffs.
Sure.
But they've been 22-5 with Steph Curry and Jimmy. And Steph Curry has been back to a top 10 player with Jimmy. And the Grizzlies are just not that good of a team. Like they have some nice stuff, but I just think the Warriors are a better team.
Okay, I agree with you. I'm there. I think, yeah. And then I think I'll pick the Kings in the next one.
I'll pick the Mavs. I've not
Okay.
been a fan of Zach LaVine on the Kings. He's made them worse. As
You're just a hater.
I'm a Zach LaVine hater, I guess. I guess he's one of my ops. But he's made them worse. I mean, which he didn't. I mean, he didn't make them worse. They did go from De'Aaron Fox to him.
Sure.
But he hasn't been that impressive on that team. And I think AD's a nice player. I think AD will go off for a game.
Okay.
That's
okay.
just my only logic is AD is going to go off for a game. So AD either plays like the best player in the world or he plays like he's non-existent. So let's hope he has the best player in the world game. So I'm going to choose the Mavs.
Okay, so I picked Kings, Grizzlies for the 8th spot.
Yeah, who do you got there?
I'm gonna go Grizz.
Okay. I'm taking Grizz for mine too because
So okay.
the AD thing, one game he's the best player in the world. So that's that Kings Mavs game. So he's going to disappear for the Grizz Mavs game. That's just
Okay.
that's what he does.
Okay, let's do East real quick. Unless you have something to dive into on these teams.
No, I do not.
Okay.
These teams are going to lose in 4 or 5 games, both to the Cavs or Celtics.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll take the Magic over the Hawks because
Yeah.
I think Paulo and Franz can go off for a game.
I think so too. I think defense is big for them. If the Hawks had Johnson still, Jalen Johnson, maybe we're talking something different, but he's out. Yeah, I would say Magic pretty easy. Going over to the Heat Bulls. Bulls are shooting well and they're playing fast, and the Heat are sucking bad. And so I feel pretty good about the Bulls in that game. Although all the playing games are one game, it's basically March Madness for a week,
Yeah.
and you never know. But I'm going to go Bulls, and then I'm going to go Bulls over the Hawks.
I'm doing the same thing. I just want to mention my Kings and all of Chicago Kings. Josh Giddey's been averaging, since the All-Star break, 21 points per game, 10 rebounds, and 9 assists.
Why is he your king?
He's not my king, actually.
Okay,
I
good.
got to be careful with that because he's done he's made some pretty poor choices in his past.
Well,
or allegedly.
At least questionable.
Very questionable indeed.
Yeah.
Very questionable indeed. But he's averaging a triple double since the All-Star game. That's crazy.
I mean, he was always a good potential player. So, I mean,
But it's as soon as they made those trades and got rid of Levine, this Bulls team has been better. They've been so much better. And then on the other hand,
hey, they also traded away Caruso.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
well, Caruso was at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
So and they were bad with Levine, and then all of a sudden they elevated.
Okay, fair enough.
you got to get off the Levine train. It's not a fun train to be on. You got to get off of it.
I'm not fully on it. I'm just like, I left a shoe on it.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm like going back for sure. But
And then Kobe White's been averaging 25 points per game since the All-Star break.
Kobe White, he's gonna carry.
So both of them have been like playing All-Star level since the All-Star break.
Yeah.
Josh Giddey's averaging a 20-point triple-double. Like for some reason he turned into prime. I don't even know who he compares to. Like he plays so uniquely. And he's actually figured out how to shoot a little bit, which is crazy.
Sure.
Um,
But we're riding off the Heat, right? Just
Yeah.
like completely.
yeah, they've been playing bad, and I mean, the
Should they
Bulls
just
have been
blow it
playing
up?
good.
Should they blow it up? Trade Bam?
They're such a directionless franchise now after that Jimmy trade.
Bam to Los Angeles?
Sure, I say they go for the rebuild. Like Bam or Tyler Hero never. They're at best a third best player on a championship team each, maybe.
Bam to Los Angeles wouldn't work, but maybe Bam to
Another potential trade. I mean, Bam's
Bam-
not that attractive to anyone.
Well, okay,
He's
what
been
about
bad?
What about
Zubac has been better than Bam this year.
what about Bam to Golden State?
That's the only attractive one because it's the war. Well, no, you can't do that. Jimmy and Bam back together. I mean, they didn't have beef, but I feel like Jimmy would somehow have
Oh
problems
wait,
with
yeah,
that.
yeah. Because you would have to move Butler.
No one wants Bam. I wouldn't want Bam.
Maybe it's the Heat going to get Giannis.
I just don't know if they have attractive pieces. I mean, I guess Tyler Hero is attractive.
You do Tyler and I don't know.
Tyler-
Whoa, wait. What did you say about Tyler?
If Tyler was the centerpiece of a trade for Giannis, it would be awful. It would be so bad.
Okay, well
my
maybe
goodness.
it's a Pacers. I don't know. I'm struggling to come up with a spot.
I don't think Bam has a spot. He's been like so bad. Like, I guess Lakers make the most sense because they need a center, but I don't know how they're getting that.
Maybe it's the Wolves.
the Wolves, but you have Rudy, so you'd have to
No,
give it.
well, what if it's the Rudy?
what are the Heat doing getting Rudy? That feels like
Well, maybe you get picks out of it.
yeah.
You would have to get a lot of picks.
That means
out of
Heat want to rebuild. So it'd be like a rebuilding play where you get a lot of picks, get off Rudy's, and get Rudy's
it.
contract.
Maybe you get like a lot of picks. Whatever that young Ford's name is, Shannon. Is that right, Shannon?
Terrence Shannon Jr., that
Yeah.
guy from Illinois. Yeah.
And then maybe, well, you're probably not getting robbed, but
No, you're not getting robbed. No, Bam's so bad.
no, wait. He's good. He's had a bad year.
Yeah, I guess so. He's had a bad
also,
2 years.
He's also like a 6'9" center, a 6'8" center.
Yeah, which is bad. that doesn't help his case.
It's not ideal. Maybe he's a Spurs guy.
Maybe he is. I mean, I don't know. I don't like taking a complete because he's becoming a non-shooter slowly. I mean, he's still got that mid-range, but he can't shoot the 3. I'd rather have a shooting center around Wemby. I just feel like it clogs up the paint for Wemby.
Well, especially with Fox.
Yeah, that's just like a clog.
Well,
Clog
Wemby can act as a spacer.
But I like Wemby when he can act as a spacer, but then go in the paint too. He can do both.
Yeah.
So I'd rather have like a Brook Lopez type, like not Brook Lopez, but as a center who can shoot like that. If you want to center around him, one who can play good defense inside, but also can shoot on the
The
outside.
Spurs actually do need another big. They
Yeah.
like desperately need another big.
Which Bam is not bad, but I feel like it's
Yeah.
too expensive
yes.
for a guy.
I think they
who's-
should draft one.
Yeah, I think for your other center, you don't need a flashy guy. I think Kevin Durant type player, Devin Booker type player is better for the Spurs.
Well, you're not. The Spurs aren't trading for Booker.
Well, yeah, that's just like dream scenario that player would be better than Bam.
Okay. Any last thoughts?
I don't think so.
Is there anything you want to change? Because I kind of want to change to Minnesota.
If you want to, this is your last chance. As soon as we stop this, you can't change anything.
Okay. Actually, I'm going to stick with the Lakers.
Okay.
I like them.
That means we have all the same picks. We both picked the Clippers. We both picked the Pacers. We both picked the Lakers and both picked the Knicks.
Ethan squared, man.
I mean, we're just the chemistry is next level.
Oh, dude, it's crazy.
That's what happens when your name's Ethan. I mean, all the Ethans out there listening understand. Like there's a connection
We're
that's
all
deeper
connected.
than anything.
We're all connected.
We really are.
All right, brother.
Bro,
So we got after the playing games on Friday, we're gonna do a pod,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna post that quick,
Yeah, before the playoffs start on Saturday, we'll post it, so stay tuned.
and then NFL mock.
Yeah, we'll
maybe?
do NFL mock draft hopefully next week. Hopefully we'll get Samuel or Chris back in the studio. We actually got Samuel for an episode. It was incredible. It was
Yeah.
amazing. It was probably the most deranged episode we have on there.
and everything we could have possibly dreamed of.
Yeah, it was incredible. But we want Chris. You guys would love Chris.
Yeah,
I think, right? I hope
probably.
so. I mean, I love
would
Chris.
think I do too.
So you guys would too. Well,
All right. Well, peace, brother.
I don't know what this is, but this is my exit greeting.
Thank you for watching.